50 Cent dropped an Instagram post that instantly dragged T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris, into their already simmering beef, and from there, things spiraled fast. That single move triggered a chain reaction, pulling in T.I. Song King Harris, who ended up crossing a line that sent the internet into full meltdown mode. Now the big question is this: did 50 Cent, with one now deleted Instagram post, manage to put the Harris family under a spotlight and flip the entire storyline of this feud? Because what started as a Verzews debate suddenly turned into something nobody saw coming. So let's break down exactly what went down between 50 Cent, T.I., and King Harris, and how one Instagram post transformed a Verzews argument into a full-blown public spectacle. To understand how we got here, you have to rewind to the very beginning of this beef, and it starts with one word. Verzews.T.I. has been trying to get 50 Cent to face him in a song-for-song battle ever since Verzews exploded back in 2020. This isn't new. Tip has been pushing for this matchup for years. He said it repeatedly across interviews and platforms that 50 Cent is the opponent he wants, and for just as long, 50 has either brushed it off or ignored it completely. But things turned up a notch in February 2026. The Atlanta rapper doubled down on his challenge during a live episode of Nightcap in San Francisco. On Friday, February the 6th, the podcast, hosted by Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco Johnson, wasn't some quiet sit-down. T.I. was on stage, in front of a live audience, cameras rolling, calling out 50 Cent by name. He spoke about conversations with Swizz Beatz regarding a Verzews battle and made it clear that 50 was his choice. Then came the line that lit the fuse: "He don't want no smoke though. I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke." Those were T.I.'s words, delivered loud and clear, with Shannon Sharpe sitting right there. And for context, this wasn't just T.I. talking reckless. He later went even further on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. There, the Atlanta MC claimed that a hit for Verzews had actually been discussed and agreed upon until 50 allegedly backed out. According to T.I., this wasn't one-sided at all. He said he and 50 had been moving around Los Angeles together, selling shows, and during that time they talked through the Verzews idea and came to a verbal agreement. T.I. claimed the plan was simple: he'd mention it publicly first, and 50 would follow up. But when T.I. went public, 50 allegedly acted like he had no idea what was going on. That's what really set T.I. off. This wasn't just about declining a battle, it was about a deal, in his eyes, being broken. "Now I question your character. Just say you don't want to do it," T.I. said on the podcast, making it clear this had shifted from music to respect. Then T.I. drew a hard line: "I have no interest in standing on stage with him. I don't respect him." That was a direct quote. Not "I'm annoyed," not "I disagree." He said he does not respect 50 Cent, and in hip-hop, that's not a small statement. That's not something you casually walk back. At that point, the internet was buzzing. Fans were arguing over whether T.I. even had enough hits to go against 50. Others debated whether 50 was ducking smoke or simply uninterested. But everyone knew one thing: 50 Cent always responds. This is the same man who's had public feuds with Ja Rule, Rick Ross, Diddy, Floyd Mayweather, and more. He doesn't let things slide. And sure enough, 50 did respond, just not with music, not by accepting the Verzews, and not by debating catalogs. He went somewhere else entirely. He went to Instagram, and what he posted changed the entire direction of this beef. Before we get to that now, deleted post though, it's important to look at what happened in between, because 50 didn't just wake up and post a random photo. He fired shots first, and they landed. After T.I. publicly accused him of ducking the Verzews, 50 responded by posting a clip of T.I.'s Crime Stoppers Atlanta commercial, implying Tip was a snitch. His caption read, "I know Atlanta pick and choose who they support, but y'all gotta do better. Lol. Keep my name out your mouth." That Crime Stoppers ad has followed T.I. for years. It was part of his community service tied to his 2007 federal gun case, not something he volunteered for in the traditional sense, but 50 has repeatedly used it to paint T.I. as someone who cooperates with law enforcement. And he didn't stop there. 50 also shared footage of T.I. testifying in court during the murder trial of Hosea Thomas, who killed T.I.'s friend Philip Johnson in Cincinnati back in 2006. That's where the internet split. Supporters of T.I. argued that testifying to get justice for a murdered friend isn't snitching. Others felt the footage backed the narrative 50 was pushing. Either way, the message was clear. 50 wasn't letting his character be questioned without pushing back. Then came the comment that really hit. In an Instagram reply captured by Academics TV on X50 referred to T.I. as King Rat. That wasn't accidental. T.I. calls himself the King. He has an album titled King. His son's name is literally King. Flipping that into King Rat was calculated. T.I. fired back immediately. "You playing on my name when only one of us a rat in real life," he wrote. He followed it up with, "You know I got your paperwork right and my transcript is available online. Your excuses is useless. Get your hoe ass in the box or stes few and live in fear. You soft son, you've lost my respect." That paperwork reference matters. T.I. was pointing to long-standing rumors that 50 Cent cooperated against Kenneth Supreme McGriff in the early 2000s. In other words, T.I. was saying, "If you're calling me a rat, I've got documents too, and my court transcripts are public." At that point, the Virtus conversation was dead. This had become a full-blown credibility war, with both men accusing each other of the same thing and pointing to receipts. Eventually, it devolved into mutual snitching accusations, which is where these beefs always seem to land once music leaves the picture. And in hip-hop, those accusations can make or break reputations. Still, up until this moment, it was just between the two of them. That was about to change. On Sunday, February the 22nd, 2026, 50 Cent made a move that dragged T.I.'s family into the feud. He posted an Instagram photo of Tiny Harris performing, captioned with a familiar warning, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth." Let's be clear about why this mattered. This wasn't a clip of T.I., this wasn't court footage, this was 50 going after a man's wife. Tamika Tiny Harris, member of Scape, a Grammy winner, a mother. The photo was unflattering, the message was pointed, and it was quickly deleted. But by then, the damage was done. That post is what officially pulled King Harris into the feud, and from that moment on, everything went off the rails. Dragging someone's personal life into a beef is always messy, but there's nothing lower, especially between grown men, than pulling a romantic partner into it. And yet, that's exactly what 50 Cent did, and now he's catching serious heat from King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T.I. and Tiny Harris. Things escalated fast when T.I. himself jumped into 50's comment section with a response that didn't hold back. King Harris then added fuel to the fire, making it clear this wasn't just internet noise anymore. The message was loud and clear. This wasn't just T.I.'s issue, it was the entire Harris family stepping into the beef. The dad had spoken, the mom had been dragged in without asking for it. And now, the son was ready to respond. But here's the key detail people can't ignore. The post 50 Cent made has since been deleted. If you check his Instagram right now, that photo of Tiny is gone. And if you followed 50 for any amount of time, this pattern should sound familiar. He posts something explosive, lets the internet react, lets blogs screenshot it, then quietly deletes it. By the time it's gone, the damage is already done. The receipts live forever on hip-hop blogs and social media. This is how 50 operates. He's done it with Diddy. He's done it with Jim Jones. He's done it with Rick Ross. He's done it with Ja Rule. And now, he's done it with T.I.'s family. This is a man who's built an entire career on antagonizing his enemies for over 2 decades. So whether the post stayed up or not almost doesn't matter. What mattered was what came next, because King Harris's response is what truly crossed the line. On Sunday, February the 22nd, the rising rapper took to his Instagram stories with an expletive-filled rant after seeing the unflattering image 50 shared of his mother, and King did not respond calmly. There was no measured statement, no PR filter. He went straight to the camera and went off. In the video, King referenced 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who tragically died in 1983. For context, 50 was just a child, 8 years old, when he lost her. He's spoken publicly about how that loss shaped him. It's one of the most painful chapters of his life story. And King went directly at that, and he didn't stop there. King later posted images of tombstones bearing the names of Sabrina Jackson and 50's grandmother, tagging 50 directly. One post showed a headstone engraved with Jackson's name and lifespan, paired with an explicit caption aimed straight at 50. He also commented under 50's original post about Tiny with just 3 words, "Where your mama?" That single comment lit the internet on fire. In his Instagram stories rant, King continued, calling his mother a legend and pointing to Tiny's Grammy-winning career with Xscape, making it clear he felt 50 had no right to speak on her name. He told 50 to put flowers on his own mother's grave instead of posting about other people's mothers. Then he escalated even further, issuing what many interpreted as a warning to 50 and anyone around him. At that point, social media exploded. Media outlets and bloggers immediately picked it up, noting that King Harris had entered the chat and told 50 Cent to dig up his deceased mother and post her gravesite. That's where many people said the line was officially crossed. No matter whose side you're on, Team T.I. or Team 50, bringing up a murdered parent and posting tombstone images is something most of the hip-hop community considers off limits. Yes, many people agree 50 was wrong for posting Tiny, but even some of T.I.'s supporters admitted King took it somewhere they couldn't defend. What makes this even more interesting is that this isn't the first time 50 has clashed with a peer's child. After his 2026 feud with Diddy's son, Christian Combs, 50 is now beefing with the children of his industry rivals. So the question becomes, does this happen when someone spends decades pushing buttons? Or did King Harris simply go too far? After King's rant, another moment caught everyone's attention. In a separate Instagram story, T.I. appeared to publicly support his son, writing that King was going to win because he's a good man and a good person. There was no call to calm down, no distancing himself from the comments. He co-signed it, and that told the world exactly where the Harris family stood. Tiny Harris, meanwhile, has remained completely silent. Despite being the center of the controversy, she hasn't responded publicly to either 50 Cent or the comments made by her son, and that silence speaks volumes. Then came 50 Cent's response, and it was the most 50 Cent move imaginable. He posted a photo of Pepe the Frog and captioned it with just 3 letters. Lol, that's it. No rant. No explanation. After a 21-year-old posted images of his mother's tombstone, 50 responded with a frog meme and laughter. According to his latest Instagram activity, he laughed it off completely. And that's where things stand, for now. The popular cartoon frog meme. And if you know 50 Cent's history, this response isn't weakness at all, it's strategy. This is how he moves. 50 doesn't operate on the same frequency as most rappers. He doesn't match energy with energy. He meets anger with laughter. He answers outrage with dismissal, and that's exactly why he's so effective in public beefs. When one person is yelling and the other is posting a frog emoji, who really looks pressed, who looks emotional, and who looks entertained. That contrast is the whole point, but 50 didn't stop at the frog. He followed up with a graphic created by YouTuber 050 The Movement, featuring photos of King Harris and Tiny Harris, stamped with the phrase, "God don't like ugly." It directly targeted both mother and son in a single post and once again went straight to Instagram for millions to see. King fired back almost immediately. This time, King shared an image of 50 Cent in court with the caption accusing him of only applying pressure to women and telling him to bring that same energy elsewhere. He even referenced 50's 2013 domestic abuse trial, pulling up old court history. At this point, the beef was clearly spiraling. Then the music entered the chat. Upset over the post about his wife, T.I. headed to the studio. On Sunday night, the Atlanta rapper previewed a brand new diss track titled War, which hasn't officially dropped yet. He shared a snippet of the DJ Toom-produced track on social media with a caption making it clear he was ready for smoke. But 50's reaction stayed consistent. No diss record, no response track, no bars. He treated T.I.'s musical response the same way he treated King's rant, with memes and indifference. To 50, this was the lowest form of a diss, and he wasn't about to engage on record.ti. However, wasn't done. Without wasting time, he doubled down. On Monday, he delivered a second full-length diss track titled Write One straight to Atlanta Radio, skipping streaming platforms entirely. The song premiered exclusively on Hot 107.9 during Posted on the Corner with Incognito and DJ Mrs., a very mid-2000s style radio rollout, 2 diss tracks in 2 days. Tity. Meanwhile, 50 still hadn't recorded a single line. Now zoom out for the bigger picture. This moment also lines up with what many believe will be T.I.'s final album, Kill the King. He's been in the middle of a real comeback. He's Single Let 'Em Know, produced by Phil, has been performing well, earning him his first solo Billboard Hot 100 entry in over a decade, peaking at number 50 on the February 21st chart. Momentum was building, then this beef exploded. The question now is unavoidable. Is this feud helping T.I. or hurting him? Is the attention from 50 Cent boosting visibility ahead of his supposed retirement album? Or does it make him look like he's swinging at someone who doesn't even take him seriously? Because the reality is this: 50 Cent hasn't dropped music in years. He's worth hundreds of millions through television, business ventures, touring, and brand deals. He doesn't need a Verzeus. He doesn't need chart validation. And when someone at that level responds to your diss tracks with a frog meme, the message is loud, even if it's unfair. And let's be real, 50 isn't focused on just one target. He's beefing with Jim Jones, trolling Diddy, posting surveillance footage, mocking people from every angle, and now dragging the entire Harris family into it. There are no off-limits targets with 50 Cent. That's what makes him entertaining and dangerous. Still, T.I. didn't back down. He continued posting, kept defending Tiny, and kept escalating. At this stage, the feud is fully personal. Nothing is off the table, and it's playing out both online and in the music. So where does that leave things? 50 Cent posted a now deleted photo of Tiny Harris. King Harris, T.I.'s 21-year-old son, responded by invoking 50's murdered mother, posting tombstone images and unleashing a viral rant. 50 Cent replied with a frog meme and the word lol.ti. Released 2 diss tracks, and 50 still hasn't released a single record. This beef isn't cooling off anytime soon. These are 2 pride-driven artists who don't back down easily. And while 50 didn't end T.I.'s career with one Instagram post, T.I. is still making music, still charting, still releasing records. He did flip the narrative. Instead of the comeback music being the focus, the story became the family's reaction, especially King's. And in internet beef, controlling the narrative is the same as winning. One Instagram post, deleted. And yet the fallout generated more headlines than T.I.'s actual music rollout. That's the power of someone who spent over 2 decades mastering provocation. Love him or hate him, right or wrong, fair or foul, the numbers don't lie. Everyone is talking, and when everyone is talking, 50 Cent is winning. That's how he's always played the game, and that's how he'll keep playing it.